Project 24 is a project that was born out of a very simple idea. I love taking pictures, and shooting portraits is my favorite thing in the world. I think that like most of the intensity that can be found in a portrait is born out of the connection between the photographer and the subject. And there is a very specific connection that is born the first time someone meets. In that sense, the whole day was a gigantic container for art and people that just wanted to give whatever they had to this project. Each and every one of the 24 pictures represents my state of mind at the time towards the situation my father was living and my family was living. A month prior to the date of the shooting, I got a call from my family back in Italy telling me that my father got diagnosed with leukemia and that he had to go back into the hospital and do another bone marrow transplant, and it's something that really crushed me. All those images that I had in my head were very dark and grotesque and grim, very different from what I usually produce in photography. And initially I kind of started to like fight them and like try to get them out of my head, but I noticed that it was not working because the situation was not changing at all. So instead I started to embrace them and decided to use them as the main concept for all of the 24 photo shoots. There is a lot of black paint, there is a lot of red paint, there is a lot of like lines that cross the face and people that are like kind of in positions that are closing themselves, imbued with nostalgia, and the makeup in them, instead of being something beautiful and your usual portrait shoot makeup. When I thought of Project 24, there was only one person that was like crazy enough to actually embark in such an adventure with me, and that's Ollie Savage, that is a makeup artist and an amazing friend of mine that came along for the ride. She just created amazing art on every one of the models' faces and bodies. In some way, she managed to represent exactly how I was feeling and how we were feeling towards the project in every single shot.
Hi, my name is Ollie and I'm the makeup artist for Project 24. Project 24 came about when Nico called me one day with this crazy idea to do 24 photo shoots in 24 hours. I thought it was ridiculous, but I jumped on board. I thought it was so outlandish that we had to do it. And it just kind of went on from there. Working with Nico is always amazing. We get along like a house on fire and his work is beautiful.
We did all the work behind the scenes with all the concepts and mood boards and organizing for everyone to come in at the right time and scheduling everything. Like, there was a lot of work before the actual shoot. In comparison to the bulk of work that was behind it, the 24 hours actually looked like a very short amount of time. The project was shot on November 13th at the Warehouse 100 Studios. We started at 10 a.m. and we shot non-stop, 1 hour per person, until 10 a.m. on November 14th.
It was an intense 24 hours. Although it ran pretty smoothly, we were pretty lucky with the amount of talent we had on board. Everyone was super lovely and we were very lucky with how many people turned up and how many people volunteered their time to help out and assist throughout the day. When I first started doing makeup, I did more alternative makeup. So I hadn't touched that kind of makeup style in a few years, and going back to it on Project 24 was really nice to go back and to do that. These days I do more fashion work and it's very minimal, so it wasn't really what I do day to day these days, but it was still lovely.
Along with us, we had JD from Stage Wolf Productions that took videos and behind the scenes of the whole experience, and of all of the people that just naturally flocked towards the project and stayed with us during the day and gave us all of those amazing energies.
I basically wanted to create a motion catalog of the 24 models. I derived inspiration from what Ollie created with her makeup and pushed myself to film unique looks and poses using the least amount of lighting and camera equipment. There is no specific continuity throughout the fashion film, so to speak. It's just an explosion of different looks, colors, and situations.
People that ended up being the subjects and the models for Project 24 were people that we actually had never met before. The way we casted was through a few online castings, and we received an overwhelming amount of responses. A lot of emails, not only from models that wanted to take part of the project, but also from other artists that wanted to donate something they had for the project. I'm the kind of photographer that really works well under pressure, so having to shoot 24 photo shoots in 24 hours with 24 different people, most of which I had never met before, put me under a lot of pressure. So like, it helped me release all of this creativity and create all these images. A big part of the creativity behind the project was not to give ourselves limitations in that sense and just create what it felt right. So some of the concepts we really stuck to the mood board or to what I was feeling at the time, and with some others we just went completely overboard because with the interaction that we had with the model, something naturally was born. There was always a very deep connection with the subject, no matter whether it was like a very dimly lit portrait or something bolder or something more colorful. I pretty much told every single model what I was feeling and what I wanted their image to be a representative of, and tried to help them to get into that mood to convey that feeling with me. The workflow during the day of the photo shoot was actually pretty streamlined and simple. Ollie was the first one to work with every single model. She had 1 hour to do the makeup, and right after that I would start shooting them for 1 hour. This process went on and on, so we kept on having people come in. While I was shooting someone, Ollie was doing makeup for the person that I would shoot next. This cycle continued for the 24 hours with the addition of JD having a different video setup in the back room so he could work on the fashion film and the behind the scenes film. The last hour was probably the most difficult. I have to say that during the last part of the shoot, all I could hear in my head was like this whistle, like beep. And it was really difficult to get my thoughts together, but I was really happy because I knew like we had almost done it. It was incredible that we actually managed to shoot for 24 hours non-stop. I'm super thankful to everyone that joined forces with us to create this project together.
The project was phenomenal. The images turned out just the way we imagined them, and some even exceeded our expectations. I do hope we get to do more projects like this in the future. I want to thank all the models, Warehouse 100, our assistants Darren, Tanya and Mark, and JD from Stage Wolf Productions for staying there the whole 24 hours with us. We couldn't have done it without you.